Hey everyone! Welcome to the world of Aqua Session 1. I'm so excited to be here. I'm most excited that you're here. Very excited that you're here. So, before we get started, first I want to welcome you to the world of Aqua Session 1. So, just because we're hairstylists and it's Monday, let's start off with a little bit of champagne. Toast to you for being here, joining me for the World of Aqua series, session 1. So if you have your coffee, I'll toast you to your morning coffee. If you're like me and poured a mimosa before this event, cheers. Awesome, awesome. So I'm so excited for this series. You as stylists asked for so many topics for us to discuss in this World of Aqua series. So this is session 1 of 10. Okay, this session we are going to be diving deep into each system that Aqua carries, as well as the ins and outs of those systems, what client is best for each system, as well as what client does not work best for that system, and then how to intermix various systems in the head. So I'm so excited. We're going to introduce you fully to Aqua if you're not familiar with us. And if you are, welcome. Welcome back and welcome to Team Aqua. So again, my name is Samantha. I'm the artistic director with Aqua Hair Extensions, and let's get started. So first I want to introduce you to Aqua if you are new with us. So a little bit about Aqua Hair Extensions. Aqua is a professional only hair extension company. Okay, which I absolutely love. So what that means to you as a stylist is we only sell to licensed hairstylist, right? We do not sell directly to the public. You can only find our product through a professional beauty distributor or through Aqua directly, and you have to be a licensed hairstylist. So no worries. Your clients cannot purchase Aqua. If your clients are watching, hello. I hope you gained some knowledge today from this session, and you can go back to your stylist and ask them all the questions and feel so comfortable wearing Aqua hair extensions. So, as well as Aqua extensions being a professional only system, we are sold nationwide. Okay, and we do sell 5 professional hair extension systems that we're going to discuss today. So we'll dive deep into each one of those systems. Okay, every system at Aqua Hair Extensions contains 100% human Remy hair extensions. So does anybody know what Remy means? If you do, add it in the comments, okay? If you know what Remy hair extensions are, shout it out. Let me know in the comments. So if you're unaware, Remy hair extensions means the cuticle is still fully intact in the hair, okay? And it's facing the same natural growth direction, okay? Remy hair is the cuticle is still intact and is facing the same natural growth direction. So at Aqua, we carry only 100% human Remy hair extensions, okay? And we guarantee that because we source hair in ponytails or bundles, okay? Just as if you were to donate hair, right? The first thing you have to do is bind the hair up in a ponytail or a braid and then send the hair away. That ensures that the cuticle is facing the same direction, okay? So if you were unaware why companies made you do that, that is exactly why. So we source all of our hair at Aqua in ponytails or bundles, okay? And we process our hair significantly different. So we're very proud of our hair process, and I definitely want to make you aware of that. So at Aqua, we process our hair for a very long time and very slow and gentle. Okay, so what this means to you as a stylist and your guests is the longevity of the hair will be much, much longer, and the integrity of the hair will be much higher. So at Aqua, we have a two-step process. The very first step that we do, you'll see it here, it's a 12-hour nutrient-rich solution. We let the hair soak in that nutrient-rich protein-based solution to absorb as much nutrients and protein as it can, just to preserve the integrity of that cuticle. Okay, so think of a pre-deep conditioning treatment before it starts its lifting process. So after that first step, then we slowly and gently lift the hair for 21 days. Okay, very, very slow and gentle. Industry standard is roughly 3 to 5 days. So most companies do flash lift the hair, which we all know what happens when the hair is flash lifted, right? The integrity of the cuticle is not intact, leaving the hair very dry and brittle. In turn, your guest will not get nearly as long of a wear on their hair extensions. So at Aqua, we do that over the course of 21 days. It's very, very slow and gentle. Okay. In turn, you as a stylist, that leaves the longevity of the hair much longer. So your guest isn't purchasing hair nearly as often. Okay. So we're very proud of that process. No matter what system you're working with at Aqua, our hair is processed the exact same way, which I love. You never have to worry about one system, the quality being different than the other, or the colors. So at Aqua, we carry over 50 color options on our coloring, okay? And no matter what system you're working with, the color is exactly the same. So if you are ordering color number 6 in keratin fusion extensions and color number 6 in tape-in extensions, the hair is exactly the same and the color is exactly the same, which for me as a stylist is huge, right? Pre-Aqua, which at this point was a very long time ago, I had so many colorings. I had a coloring for keratin fusion, a coloring for tape-in extensions, and you don't have to worry about that at Aqua, okay? So let's dive right into the systems, okay? And we'll talk about each system, the ins and outs of each system, and we'll just get right to it. So the first system that I want to talk about is the tape-in extensions, okay? Who does tape-in extensions? Who loves tape-in extensions? Awesome, awesome. Who has used Aqua tape-in extensions? Okay, so I'm gonna grab a tape-in extension here. So a few tips and tricks for our Aqua tape-in extensions. So our Aqua tape-in extensions come in 3 different lengths, 14, 18, and 22-inch length. Each extension is 1.5 inches wide and they come pre-taped, which is incredible. This is our color 62. So if you're not familiar with our ice blonde, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. It's a very light pale ash blonde. Okay. They come pre-taped and ready for your guest. Each pack contains 10 individual hair extensions, okay, which can make 5 complete panels of extensions. So if you're paneling 2 pieces of tape-in together, that'll make 5 complete panels of extensions, or you can use our single-sided tape to make 10 complete panels with single-sided tape. And if you're not familiar with single-sided tape, I'm about to change your world, okay? Single-sided tape is incredible for a guest that maybe is a little finer, right? Or has a little bit more fragile hair, where 2 complete extension panels at 2.5 grams on average per panel, right? So each individual piece is roughly 2.5 grams of hair. So paneling 2 together is roughly 5 grams of hair. We know that some guests, that is a little bit heavy, right? It's a little heavy on their hair. You can now take single-sided tape and panel that together with your 1 tape-in extension piece just for much less weight overall, as well as a little bit finer of a density. So your guests that maybe are finer around their hairline, right? Finer on the sides, finer in the nape area. That's a great option instead of paneling 2 extension pieces together, okay? So you can absolutely do a full head of extensions with single-sided tape, right? Or you can just choose areas and sections of the head where you may not need 2 panels and you can do just 1. Okay, that's a great way to use the single-sided tape. And then we also have our retape tabs. Okay, the retape tabs are in this white marble packaging. The retape tabs will retape our tape-in extensions. And what is amazing about the tape-in extensions is there's no need to remove the old tape when you are retaping. Okay, so you simply leave the previous tape intact. Okay, once we remove the extensions, we'll talk about what we remove them with shortly, but once you remove the extensions, you would take a new piece of retape tab, place it directly over top of the old. Okay, so with our tape-in extensions, they can be reused for up to 3 applications. So 1 original application that comes pre-taped, and then up to 3 reapplications. With our tape-in extensions, we do offer 2 different removers. Okay, so 2 different removers that you can use. We have an express remover, which is our alcohol-based remover. Now that is the remover that we want to remove the extensions from the hair with. Okay, it is an alcohol-based remover, so it will evaporate off of the extensions themselves. So there's no need to wash the extensions before you reapply. Okay, the alcohol-based express remover will evaporate. We'll let the extensions dry. We will not remove the old tape. We'll simply place a new piece of tape right over top, and we're ready to go. We always do want to re-prep our guests' natural hair. We will go deep into prepping the hair in another series or in another session. We'll talk about prepping the guest's hair before every application, making sure the hair is very, very clean. You always want to do that, but don't worry about washing the extensions themselves, okay? So the second remover that we offer for tape and extensions is called Glide Remover. Now, Glide Remover is an oil-based remover. Okay, so this remover, if it touches the extensions themselves, yes, it can be used to remove the extensions. Okay, I don't want you to think it cannot. It will remove the adhesive. However, once Glide Remover touches the extensions have to be re-prepped, washed, and blown dry. Oil does not evaporate, right? So it does have to be removed and washed away. So I'd recommend to only use your express remover to remove the extensions, and Glide Remover would come into play if there's any leftover residue in the hair, any adhesive left in the hair whatsoever. The Glide Remover can then be sprayed on the guest's natural hair and combed through. Okay, so just remember, Glide Remover touches the extensions, it has to be washed away. Awesome. The last tool that we carry with our tape and extensions are our tape and extension pliers. These are an amazing set of stainless steel ergonomic pliers that you can use to close your extension panels with. So instead of using your fingers to seal each individual panel, our tape and pliers do that for you. They fit perfectly over the tape, and it will seal your extensions very, very tight and allow for no air bubbles left within the tape and extensions. Awesome. Our next extension system that we're going to dive right into is our cylinder hair extensions. So our cylinder system, let me grab one piece here. Our cylinder system comes in the same 3 lengths as our tape and extensions. So our cylinder system has 14-inch, 18-inch, and 22-inch length. Now the question I get often is, what is the weight on your cylinder extension? So cylinder extensions are commonly known as I-tips. Maybe you call them I-tips or beaded extensions. So the weight of each individual piece is 0.75 grams. Okay, so 0.75 grams per piece, which you can see this is a really good amount of hair. Okay, they're very dense. It's a very good amount of hair. So on average, each pack of cylinder extensions is a little under 19 grams. So it's 18.75 grams for the entire pack. Okay, on average for a full head of cylinder extensions, the guest will wear roughly 4 to 8 packs of hair. Okay, 4 to 8 packs of hair for a full head of cylinder extensions. Each pack, you get 25 pieces. So when you're applying cylinder extensions, we have 2 different beads or attachments that you can use. So our first attachment, this is why we call them cylinders. They are a copper cylinder. Okay, it's a very long, slender copper cylinder. And our second attachment is our silicone-lined aluminum beads. They're a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. You choose which attachment you like. There's no right or wrong. It's 100% preference. So each stylist will choose their favorite. It does not matter which one you choose. Both sets of beads and cylinders, however, do come in 4 colors. So blonde, brown, dark brown, and black. You choose the bead color that matches your guest's root color. Okay, so when it comes to their cylinder extensions, we call our cylinders a Dura-tip cylinder. Okay, so what that means is the tip on our cylinder extensions is actually made of 100% keratin. Okay, it's 100% Italian keratin, and it's called a Dura-tip because it's very, very durable. But the awesome part, what I love about our cylinder extensions and what my guests really love about them is this tip is very, very flexible. So let's just say I flatten my tip within a bead. So you'll see the tip is now very, very flat, but I can also make it round again and flat again and round again and flat again. So mimicking the application and the removal of the cylinder extensions. This tip is so durable. It's very durable enough to last your guest for up to 4 applications total. Okay, so with the cylinder extensions, the guest will wear their hair for that first initial application and then up to 3 reapplications. And what we love about our cylinder extensions and what my guests love is after that 3rd and 4th application, the tip is still fully intact. Okay, it does not start to disintegrate. It doesn't start to tear apart. It's so strong and durable, yet flexible enough to be reshaped in the bead each time. Okay, so with cylinder extensions, these are great for a guest who does not want the maybe adhesives or chemicals, quote unquote, put in their hair. Maybe this is a guest who is more of a natural guest, a guest who does not want any, like I said, adhesives or chemicals placed into their hair. This is placed using just beads. Okay, so this is more of a semi-permanent extension. They're very easy to apply and remove, and they can be applied and removed very quickly just by using the beads. They're not more of a permanent system like the keratin fusion that we're going to talk about next. Okay, so this is definitely great for a guest who wants that movability with the single strand extensions. Okay, however, doesn't want them to be quite as permanent as a keratin fusion extension. Okay, this would be a great option for them. So the next system that we're going to talk about is our keratin fusion extensions. So with our keratin fusion extensions, I have a whole bundle here. I didn't want to take them out. I wanted you to see what a full bundle or a full pack looks like. So with our keratin fusion extensions, you still get those same 3 length options, 14, 18, and 22 inches. Okay, the weight on our keratin fusion extensions are the same as your cylinder extensions. So 0.75 grams per piece and roughly 18.75 grams per pack. Okay, so that does vary, depending on the length option, but on average, we're kind of looking at the middle grade, the 18-inch length is 0.75 grams, and then it kind of varies there depending on the shorter and the longer lengths. So 25 pieces per pack, just like the cylinder extensions. But what I love about our keratin fusion extensions, yes, they are made of Italian-based keratin as well. So it is 100% Italian keratin, just like our Duratip on our cylinder extensions. But the difference with our keratin fusion extensions is this Italian keratin is very strong and hard. Okay, very, very strong and hard. So with our keratin fusion extensions, they will last in the hair for up to 4 to 6 months. Okay, 4 to 6 months wear, and then your guests will need to come back into the salon and get them removed and then reapplied. Okay, with our keratin fusion extensions, a few tools that will be necessary will be your keratin fusion gun. Okay, our keratin fusion gun is my absolute favorite. I've used a lot of keratin fusion guns in my time. Okay, keratin fusion gun, hands down the best gun I've ever used. Okay, it's a Teflon tip, which means it's very strong and sturdy. It doesn't flake. How many of you have used a keratin fusion gun that the tip starts to fray? Okay, and the inside and outside of that Teflon tip is all heats to the same temperature. So you don't have to worry about it getting hot and cold on you. It stays the same temperature throughout the entire use. Okay. You also need we have keratin fusion discs you'll use for this application in order to apply your keratin fusion extensions. And we do have bond breaking pliers. Okay. So with our keratin fusion extensions, how many of you offer microfusions? Right? How many of us like to take our keratin fusions, make it even more hard on ourselves and cut them down to even smaller bonds and smaller intricate pieces to apply in the hair, right? I know I do. I just applied a full set on Saturday. So what I love with our keratin fusion extensions, we have our bond breaking pliers, super quick and easy. And if you're not sure what I mean, we're going to dive deep into, I want to say, session 4 or 5. One of our sessions, we're going to dive deep into the keratin fusion system, and we'll demonstrate how to apply and break down the bonds. But when I say micro bonds, essentially you can take your keratin fusion bonds, okay, and make them smaller. So instead of applying this full weight of hair, I can cut it in half. Very quick and easy. Now I just created 2 bonds. Why would I want to break a bond down and make it smaller, right? What guest would that be good for? Okay, how many of us have guests that are so extremely fine around the hairline, right? Or, right, your guests that are kind of receding a little on the sides, and they have a good amount of density in their fringe area, but they're receding to where other systems that you apply, you cannot get close to the hairline, right? If you did, they would never be able to pull their hair back or pull the hair up. This is where keratin fusions come into place, especially your micro bonds. So you can take that 1 bond and cut it in half, or you can take that 1 bond and cut it into thirds. So I can fit these very, very small, intricate bonds around the hairline where other systems would not be able to be applied. And these are so invisible in the hair that I can even create a small fringe, right? We'll talk more about that in another system, but I've created fringe with micro bonds. So beautiful, and you would never detect those micro bonds around the hairline. Okay, so this is a great system for guests who do not want to come back to the salon nearly as often. Okay, maybe this is a guest who they want to come back, they want to come and see you and not come back for 4 to 6 months, right? So the ideal client would be someone who does wear their hair up often, someone who wants less visits, right? This is a guest who wants that movability of single strand extensions, and they don't want almost like a blanket of extensions like a hand-tied weft would be, or they don't want wide pieces like tape-in extensions, right? There's someone who likes that movability, likes that single strand option, and it's great that if they do pull their hair up, they're very undetectable. Okay, this is a system that is incredible for them. So this is also a system that I call a permanent, very permanent system that you are married to, right? So if we're talking in each extension system, okay, let's look at this extensions like relationships, right? I always like to use this analogy. So when we are talking about relationships, right, your first kind of dating, the first step is nowadays we get on Tinder, right? We're swiping. Maybe you guys both swipe right. I think I've never been on Tinder, but you guys both swipe the same way, right? And you match. So we're going to go on a date. We're just going to test each other out. That first date is clip-in extensions. Okay? That very first date, clip-in extensions. If it doesn't work out, no big deal. Take them out. Take them out at night. You never have to see them again. Okay? No big deal. But maybe you do like him and you're like, okay, let's go on another date. We'll give it a try. Maybe we're dating now, like not seeing anybody else, just kind of dating. I compare that to cylinder extensions, right? You can apply them. However, if something isn't right, it's very quick and easy to remove. You can just break up. Like, no big deal. It was good while it lasted this month, but I'm going to get back on Tinder, right? Okay. Maybe you're like, you know what? I do like you. Let's become exclusive. So we're dating. We're not living together yet, but we're maybe on month 6 and we're like, let's celebrate our 6-month anniversary. Okay, we're committed to each other, but we're still not 100% ready to get married, but we're committed, right? Tape-in extensions. You apply tape-in extensions. Yes, they are a permanent system to where there is a remover involved to remove them. However, it's pretty quick and easy to remove, right? You take your express remover, they slide out, and you're good to go. So maybe you're 6 months in, the breakup kind of stings a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but it's not permanent, right? It can be removed, but there's a little bit more commitment involved. Beyond that would be hand-tied weft extensions, right? In that same category where you're not committed to them fully, they still can be removed in a fairly quick manner, okay? And then comes marriage. When you're like, you know what, ready to marry you. That's keratin fusion extensions. Okay. When you're ready to get married to extensions, you're ready to get married to your significant other. It's like keratin fusion extensions, right? They're permanent. They're in there. Yes, they can be removed, But when you're applying keratin fusion extensions, you absolutely have to know what you're doing when you're applying them. Okay. Once you've applied them, that extension is there. It does not come out very easily, instantly. Yes, once your guest is wearing them for 4 to 6 weeks, or I'm sorry, 4 to 6 months, they can be removed. But this is something that is the most permanent system. Okay. And this system can be so beautiful, right? This is one of my favorite systems to apply. And if you do not apply keratin fusion extensions, I'd advise you to look into it. This is a system that's coming back around. We see keratin fusion extensions skyrocketing over the next few years. This is a beautiful system that can fill so many needs of your guest. Okay. But again, this is a permanent system. So this isn't a system that you play around with, right? This is a system that when you're applying, you're committed to it, and you absolutely have to know what you're doing when you're applying. Okay. So with the keratin fusion system, when it's time to remove, we do have bond breaking pliers that you remove your extensions with. Okay. You'd break up the bond. Prior to breaking up the bond, you'd want to spray express remover. So the same remover that you use for your tape-in extensions, that is what we remove our keratin fusion extensions with. So we'd spray express remover, and we'd really just break up the bond, and the bond will slide right out. Okay. The keratin fusion extensions are not reusable. Okay. That's our only system that is not a reusable system. You do have to apply brand new hair every time. Okay. Our next system is hand-tied weft extensions. Oh, no, sorry, back up. Act like I didn't say that. We're gonna go to clip-in extensions first. We'll end on hand-tied weft extensions. So our clip-in extension system. This is our extension system. Again, that is the most temporary. Okay, this extension system is something that is more of a retail item, right? I wouldn't necessarily call it a professional system, and it's not a permanent system. But this is a great option for your guests who do not want something permanent, right? Maybe they have an event they want extensions for. Maybe they are a weekend night out kind of girl and they like to pop some hair in for that. Okay. Maybe they are going to prom or cheerleader or something that they want long hair for. This is a great option for them. Okay. Our clip-in extensions, you get this full box of extensions. Okay. They come in 20 inches. And we are looking to add new colors to our clip-in extension line, which I'm so excited for. So our clip-in extensions are 100 grams of hair, okay? And you get a full box of clip-in extensions. So you can see this box is one of our balayage collections. It is so beautiful. But you can see this is a full ponytail of hair, right? So our clip-in extensions, they come with 7 individual pieces. Okay, they come pre-clipped and ready to go. So I'll pull this out. They come pre-clipped, ready to go for you. Okay, there's 7 pieces and 20 clips total. So they come in various lengths. You have your smaller pieces for the sides of the head. You have your really wide pieces for the widest point on the hair, and they taper down from there. So they will fit perfectly on a normal application, right? If you're applying a full head of clip-in extensions. However, we will dive deep into this system again in another session, but clip-in extensions are not always just for a guest wanting their hair longer and for them to wear their hair down. I love clip-in extensions to rock a ponytail, right? Who doesn't love a good Ariana Grande ponytail? You absolutely can do that with our clip-in extensions. So we're going to do some clip-in extension hacks in the next few weeks on another system, or on another session, I'm sorry. And we will be doing some ponytails and just some fun little things that we can do with clip-in extensions. So definitely stay tuned for that. But with our clip-in extensions, this is what you get. So you get a full box of extensions, and this is a great retail item for your guest. Okay. And last but definitely not least, my favorite extension system, the hand-tied weft system. Okay, so the hand-tied weft system is definitely one of the newer systems on the market. Okay, next session, session number 2, which is in a few short weeks. Session number 2 is we're diving deep into the hand-tied weft extension. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview now on the hand-tied weft system. So Aqua hand-tied weft extensions, okay, do come in the same 3 lengths, 14, 18, and 22 inches. Okay, the packs of hair are a little different though. So with our hand-tied weft extensions, when we talk bundles, so if you look at the packs of hair, the 14 and 18-inch extensions come with 4 bundles per pack. And when I say bundle, that's a full weft. Okay, we call them bundles because they come rolled up in a bundle like this. Okay, so the 14 and 18-inch packs, you get 4 wefts or 4 bundles per pack. The 22-inch extensions come with 3 bundles per pack or 3 wefts per pack. Okay, I love our hand-tied weft extensions. They are 11 inches wide, okay, and they are roughly 55 to 62 grams of hair. So it really just depends on the length. The 14 inches, 55 grams of hair, and then it goes up from there as you get a little bit longer length of hair. And it does come in all of our collections. So I don't know if I discussed the various collections that we have at Aqua. We have balayage, which is actually what I'm holding now, as well as that tape-in that I showed you, or the clip-in that I showed you. That is one of our balayage collections, but we also have duotone collections, which are highlighted and low-lighted extensions. We have our rooted collection, which is more of a shadow root at the top. We have an ombre collection, which is more of a color melt. And then we have some crazy colors, which comes in a few of our other systems. So we have so many color options to choose from. And you can just see a little bit of the balayage in the hand-tied weft that I'm holding now. Okay, so with our hand-tied weft system, what makes this a hand-tied weft is actually not because I hand tie this weft into the hair. Okay, that is a huge misconception. The hand-tied weft is something that a lot of stylists and clients call the application of applying wefts into the hair. Okay, they just call everything a hand-tied weft, and it's actually not true. So this system, we call it a hand-tied weft because this hair, this type of weft, is a hand-tied weft. So this weft itself was handmade, was physically tied by hand. So each individual hair was knotted onto this very small thread, which makes up the weft. Okay, so the weft itself is actually only 3 pieces of thread, and then each individual hair was tied to this weft, okay, making this fully handmade, unlike a machine weft. So other types of wefts on the market would be a machine-made weft, a hybrid weft, which in turn, it's made with a machine and it's much thicker at the top. So the benefits of a hand-tied weft would be they're very fine and dainty, okay, the weft itself, allowing for minimal weight on the hair. So the weight of this weft is essentially just the hair. There's not much weight at all on the weft, okay? And they mimic natural hair growth. So you can see with this weft, it's so fine and dainty at the top, okay? There's not fabric at the top of this weft. Just think how flat and seamless your guest can wear and how this will lay in your guest's hair, okay? Unlike let's just say clip-in extensions, for example, they're much thicker at the top, right? The weft itself is much thicker, and they don't lay completely flat to the head. There's always a little like bump, right? When you're wearing, there's a little bump involved. That is a machine weft. A hand-tied weft, they're very thin and natural laying, allowing for a huge range of guests to wear a hand-tied weft, right? Think about some of your finer haired guests. Okay, just picture their hair density, right? A hand-tied weft is much more versatile for guests with finer hair because it will mimic their hair density and it will allow for much less weight in their hair. Unlike a machine weft, a weft that's much, much thicker, right? It's more of a one-size-fits-all weft. The hand-tied weft is very versatile and you can choose how much hair you're applying in the head, right? So with the hand-tied weft, we will stack multiple wefts on top of each other and sew them into the hair. And with the hand-tied weft, you as a stylist and as the expert choose how much hair you're applying based upon your guest's density, the width of her head, right? Her overall look she's trying to achieve. There's so many factors that go into play. However, it's completely customizable for your guest. Okay, those are the huge benefits of a hand-tied weft. However, a hand-tied weft cannot be cut. Okay, that is the quote unquote downfall to a hand-tied weft. It is something that we never recommend. So the weft itself, okay, this weft, not the hair, the weft can never be cut. Okay, if this weft does get cut, all of the hair will just shed right off because all they are just knotted onto that thread. So as soon as that thread gets cut, instantly the hair will just completely shed off. Okay, we never recommend any cutting of the weft. Instead, you'll see in our next session, we're going to start folding the weft to put it into place. Okay, what's awesome also with the hand-tied weft is your guest can pull their hair up very easily without any detection of the weft. So that is a huge benefit to wearing the hand-tied weft system. Okay, now when we're applying this system, when I talked about the 2 bead options that we have for the cylinder extensions, for the hand-tied weft extension, we're only using our silicone aluminum beads. Okay, we do not use the copper cylinders. So the copper cylinders are only for the cylinder application. We're going to choose the silicone lined aluminum beads. Okay, they are the perfect size for this application when we're applying the hand-tied weft system. Okay, a few other things you'll need for this system is our thread. So we do have the same thread colors as bead colors. Okay, you'll need your loop tool. We have sets of needles as well as our stainless steel deluxe pliers. So this is a different plier than what our tape-in plier was. Okay, our stainless steel deluxe plier looks a little different. I'm going to compare it to the tape-in plier that I had held up earlier, just to make sure you order the right one when you are ordering pliers. So our tape-in plier is very flat and square. Okay. Our stainless steel deluxe plier that we use to apply our cylinder extensions, as well as our hand-tied weft, is rounded, okay? And it has this small circle opening on it, which allows for you to easily open and remove or open and reattach the beads. Okay, so it looks a little different, but it still is very ergonomic and easy to use in your hand. So you'll need your stainless steel pliers to apply the hand-tied weft system. Okay, with the hand-tied weft system, okay, again, the hair is reusable. So your guest will wear their hair for roughly 4 to 8 weeks. She'll come back into the salon to see you. You'll remove everything fully. We don't do any quick bump ups. So you remove the entire head of hair, re-prep her hair. We'll talk about that in another session. Re-prep your guest's natural hair. I don't wash my extensions themselves, just re-prep my guest's natural hair, and then I'm able to reapply. Okay, and with the hand-tied weft system, just like our tape-in extensions and cylinder extensions, they are reusable for up to 3 reapplications. Okay, so roughly 4 to 6 months use, your guest will wear their hair for. On average, for the hand-tied weft system, your guests will need roughly 2 to 3 packs of hair. Okay, and the ideal guest to wear a hand-tied weft would really be most of your guests, right? There's not many guests that can't wear the hand-tied weft system. Pretty much any density of hair is perfect. The only guest that I would stay away from is a thinning client, someone who is very see-through or experiencing any type of hair loss. Okay, other than that, most guests can wear this. Your guests who work out often, okay, your guest that sweats often, this is a great system for them because if you think about tape-in extensions, let's rewind slightly. Tape-in extensions, there's adhesive involved, right? There's adhesive involved with tape-in extensions. So if your guest is excessively sweating, working out, maybe they are in a sauna often. How many of you like to go to the gym and hit up the sauna after, right? Tape-in extensions would not be ideal for that guest because sweat will get inside of the bonds and slowly break down that adhesive and remove the bonds, right? Hand-tied weft, that does not happen. So your guest that comes to you and says, I work out every day, right? I pull my hair up every single day. I get in the sauna every day. What extensions would you recommend to me? Okay. That guest, I would recommend the two permanent systems that we offer that would not be affected by water or sweat or heat, right? That would be the hand-tied weft system as well as the cylinder extensions, right? Because there's no adhesives, bonds, or chemicals that are used to apply those systems. So that is a great option for those guests, right? And then like I said, with the hand-tied weft system, there's not many guests I wouldn't recommend them to. Only guests that are experiencing hair loss or are just completely see-through to where you would not be able to hide any extensions in their hair. Okay. So when it comes to like mixing and matching and putting all types of systems in the hair, right? It's a question I get the most often. I have a guest who has nice, thick, dense hair in the back, but they're super fine on the sides. What should I do? Right? There's so many options for that, but I want to give you just my favorites to apply and who and why I would choose those systems for. Okay. Time out. Take a quick cheers break. Okay. Drinking your coffee or drinking champagne. Thank you for spending this hour with me. We have about 20 more minutes to go. I just want to take a quick pause and say if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to write your questions in the comments if you are watching us on a platform that has a comment option. If you are watching us on a platform that you cannot ask questions, perfectly fine. Please DM us. That would be a guess that I could apply another system on the sides. And we can have a few options. We'll talk about keratin fusion first. So as I mentioned earlier, keratin fusion is great for very small, intricate pieces, right? You can take keratin fusion and push the limits and get very, very close to the hairline, especially with microbonds. So I do have quite a few guests that wear hand-tied weft extensions throughout the back and into the sides, okay, for that maximum density and fullness where they can pull their hair up, right? They can wear their hair up very easily. It extends their length and it's giving them all that luscious mermaid hair, right? Except on the sides, they say, my hair doesn't grow, right? How many of you have clients say, my hair doesn't grow? You're like, honey, your hair grows. Let's use some heat protectant. Let's start taking care of your hair. We're going to get your hair to grow. But in the meantime, let's fill it in with some keratin fusion extensions. Okay, so I may apply 5 to 20 pieces roughly on the sides just to fill in that side fringe area and give them that fullness where I can't with hand-tied weft going on the sides. Okay, another option would be hand-tied weft throughout the back, right? And I can fill the sides in with cylinder extensions. Okay, if that is a guest who truly does not want any quote unquote chemicals or adhesives in their hair, they don't want the commitment of keratin fusion extensions, or maybe it's a guest who does excessively sweat, work out, swims, goes in a sauna, where you may be a little nervous about applying keratin fusion extensions because it is a bond, right? Although they're very strong and durable, excessive sweating, excessive water, and things like that. Yes, keratin fusions the bond can break down over time and slide out. So maybe you apply cylinder extensions on the sides just for that extra movability, and you can push the limits a little closer to their hairline. Okay. The third option would then still be hand-tied weft in the back, but maybe we put some single-sided pieces of tape on the side. Who has did that one? Right? I know that is probably the most popular. Taking hand-tied weft throughout the back and then taking your single-sided tape and applying one panel of tape-in extensions on the sides. Maybe you put 2 or 3 on the sides just to fill in that front section and add a little bit of density and length in on the front, right? Pushing the limits a little further where hand-tied weft maybe not be able to get in on the sides there. Okay, that's a great option as well. And what I love about mixing those systems, okay, especially mixing hand-tied weft with cylinder or tape-in extensions, they're on the same maintenance schedule, right? They're still coming back in to see you every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the system, right? Depending on how fast their hair grows. They're coming back into the salon for that maintenance appointment the same time. And all three of those systems are reusable. So they can continuously reuse that hair for the same amount of time in both systems. Okay, the only difference would be the keratin fusion extensions. But lucky for you, when they come back in to see you to remove their hand-tied weft, your keratin fusion extensions are good, right? They are not getting removed for 4 to 6 months on average. So you would just leave them there, remove their hand-tied weft, re-prep their natural hair, blow them out, and put their hand-tied weft back in. Those side keratin fusion pieces, you don't have to worry about for many months, okay? Another great option for a hybrid system, okay? Same reasonings, right? Your guest is finer density on the sides. This is the main reason why you would apply a hybrid system, meaning applying 2, maybe even 3 different systems in the same head. Okay, your guest is fine, fragile. Maybe she's really short on the sides, and you just need something a little bit smaller of a panel or piece when you're looking at the full head. The back can have maximum density, but the sides are a little bit more fragile. So let's say you take tape-in extensions, right? And you apply tape-in extensions all throughout the sides and back as your full head application, right? But her hairline, you cannot get any closer than the ear. She's so fragile that if you do your tail comb test, and if you've taken a class with us, you know what a tail comb test is, right? You take your tail comb test, slide it in the hair, lay the hair up and over, and no matter what, you're not able to hide tape-in extensions around her hairline, okay? That's where keratin fusions come into play. You can absolutely apply tape-in extensions throughout the back and the sides, but then taking your micro bonds of keratin fusion, putting those micro bonds all throughout the sides of her hair, just to give her, again, that added fullness where her hair doesn't grow. And you're giving her that added fullness and length on the sides just to push the limits and get a little bit closer to her hairline, but still being able to pull her hair up, okay, and pull her hair back away from the face. That's a great 2 systems to intermix. You also can do your tape-in extensions in the back and then put some cylinder extensions on the side. Okay, I know cylinder extensions, you can't get them quite as small and intricate like you can with keratin fusion. However, maybe again, your guest doesn't want the commitment of keratin fusion and she does not want to have to wear them for 4 to 6 months. Maybe she likes that maintenance. Maybe she does like to come back in to see you, get them fully removed. Maybe she wants to take a break. Maybe she just loves that good scalp scrub. How many of your guests come back in to see you after 6 weeks and they will pay you anything to wash their hair for longer? How many of you have had guests say, I don't care, please, 10 minutes, I will pay you whatever, but can you just scrub my head for 10 minutes or give me a really good scalp massage? Because they've been wearing extensions for 6, 8 weeks, so almost 2 months. And while, yes, we do educate them how to wash their hair properly, it's not the same. Let's be honest. How many of you are wearing extensions? It's not the same, right? The best feeling is getting those extensions out and getting the best head scrub, the best massage. But then as soon as that's done, you're like, okay, put my hair back in, right? I need my hair. They don't even want to look at themselves in the mirror. They're like, please, I don't want to look. Put my hair back in and whew, I'm back, right? How many of your guests just get so excited to see their hair back in? So when it comes to intermixing those systems, some guests, keratin fusion, they don't want the commitment of that really long wear. Maybe they want some cylinders on the sides and tape-in extensions in the back. Okay, so there's so many options when it comes to extensions, right? And what I love about Aqua is we have them all, right? We have them all. We have all of the systems that you can possibly choose, and you never have to worry about the hair being different on each system. Your guest maintaining her hair at home differently depending on each system, right? So the at-home maintenance on every extension system is exactly the same. Okay, again, we have another session talking all about maintenance tips and tricks Okay, so we'll dive deep into maintenance and how you, as a stylist, want to educate your guest on maintaining her hair at home. But the maintenance is the same at home when it comes to your guest. Okay, the only difference is how often they need to come back in and see you. So, no, if you do mix and match systems in the hair, they can maintain them the same exact way at home, which I absolutely love. Okay. So I hope this helps. I hope that helps give you, get your brain going, gives you some ideas on maybe my guest doesn't have to just fit into this one category, right? What I love is you are a professional. We're professionals. We are extensionists. And if you've never heard of that term, start calling yourself that. Start calling yourself a extensionist, right? And you have a whole portfolio of extensions that you offer. Okay, maybe that portfolio right now contains one system. Maybe you are only offering tape and extensions. But after today, you realize, okay, I have some guests that I really think would benefit from keratin fusion extensions. Okay, maybe you say, I have some guests that could really benefit from hand-tied weft extensions, right? So we're broadening our portfolio. We're taking certification classes on these other systems. And now you're becoming a true professional extensionist. And it's up to you to have that consultation with your guest, right? Determine what do they want? What do they need? And then what would be best for them? Okay, so what system or systems would be best for their need within their hair? Okay, and that need could be their lifestyle. That need could be their current hair density. That need could be their current hair texture. It could be the integrity of their hair, right? It could just be that they come in and they say, I want this type of extension. And no matter what you say, that's what they want. And you're like, okay, awesome. I can now offer you this type of extension, but let's talk about maybe some customized pieces around the face. Okay, so have that conversation with your guest. Determine what their overall need is, what they're looking for, and then you, as a professional, determine how can you customize the extensions for their hair. And you'd be so surprised how that's going to set you apart from other stylists, right? Other stylists that offer one system. It's really going to set you apart and set that bar for you to have a customized look, something that no other stylist can offer them, right? It's going to set you so far apart that they just can't go down the street and see another stylist and get tape and extensions applied, because now they're wearing keratin fusion and tape and extensions, and you've applied them in the most intricate way and you've customized it just for them that they feel so special. They do not want to see anybody else but you. Okay, so this will really set you apart behind the chair as an extensionist. And I hope this really gets your brain turning as to what you can mix and match and maybe what extension systems, looking, at 2021, what extension systems you want to add to that portfolio. Okay. At Aqua, we offer a huge range of certification classes just to get you started offering those systems. And then beyond their advanced classes, how you can interchange them, what's next, and things like that. So I encourage you to look at our education schedule online. If you go to www.aquahairextensions.com, you'll see our upcoming education schedule, and you can pop into one of our certification classes, either locally or virtually, and learn a new system, right? Just get your feet wet with that system and see where it can take you from there. So I'm so excited that you were here. I'm so excited that session 1 is finally launched. I know we're coming to an end, but I encourage you to look at the calendar and join us for all of our sessions within this series. So we will open the doors to session number 2 this evening. Okay, so you can sign up for session number 2. It's February 22nd. Okay, and the registration opens at 5 p.m. today. So February 22nd, I'll be back here, exactly where you watched me today. Will be session 2 at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we will be diving deep into the hand-tied weft extensions. Okay, so the ins and outs of the hand-tied weft system. I will apply hand-tied weft for you. We'll talk about the application, the removal, the at-home maintenance. So everything you could think of with hand-tied weft, we'll be talking about that in our next session. Okay, so I hope that you join me there. And please, like I had mentioned earlier, if you guys have any questions, I hope you do. I hope that this really gets you thinking and really gets questions going in your brain. Please join us on our World of Aqua Facebook group. So you can ask tons of questions there. You'll see the live replay of this session as well as every session beyond here. So if you join our Facebook group, it is World of Aqua 2021. Okay, you do have to be a licensed stylist to join. So I'm sorry if any clients that are watching, we love you. And we're so excited to give you hair extensions, but this is for licensed professionals only. The World of Aqua 2021 Facebook page. And in that Facebook group, you can ask tons of questions and there'll be the live replay, as well as please DM us if you have any distinct questions that you would like me to answer. So I will be following this up with a Q&A session. So all of the questions that came pouring in during this session, I definitely want to make sure that we answer them for you. So you will see that Q&A session in the Facebook group, as well as the link to register for every additional session after today. So we're going to have an amazing series. I'm so excited. I know we have 10 sessions set for now. But we're already getting inquiries about other topics that you guys want us to cover, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. We're going to have some other stylists join us, some celebrity appearances, meaning like really cool stylists that are going to join me. So I'm so excited to have this to offer all of you, and I'm so excited that you were here, and I cannot thank you enough for spending your Monday afternoon with me. Okay, so please join us in the Facebook group, and that is where I will see you after today. Cheers to all of you. I hope you have an incredible Monday, an incredible week. It's February 1st. We're starting a new month, okay? And I hope you have an amazing month, an amazing week, and happy extensioning. Cheers.